You've worked hard, you've built wealth, and you've reached that moment where people say, you've made it. But here's the truth most financial plans miss. Retirement isn't the finish line. It's a whole new beginning, one that can either unlock purpose or uncover emptiness. Today, we're talking about how to help you unlock that purpose in retirement. Stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss this conversation.
We're glad to have you on another episode of Legacy Beyond Wealth. I'm Ben George with Rob Shelton, founder of Axio Wealth Management, and got a good video again today for you. A good conversation, Rob, because I think a lot of people, the goal is always got to hit this number, got to get this much money saved so I can have that financial freedom. But I think a lot of people that get to that point realize there's much more beyond the finances, right? It's about having that purpose in life and being able to have a fulfilling life beyond the money.
Absolutely. And many I wrote a book out there about Together to Triumph, and it talked about five successful couples, how they were able to get to that success. And, they all achieved financial freedom. But the key there was what's next in life for them. And it's interesting that I talked to lots of different successful families that we work with. A lot of times we're so focused on building that financial freedom, we forget to envision what's it like after that. And how do I plan for that life that's there to really build that best life that's possibly could be?
Yeah, that's what we want to try to help you with. That's why we do these shows. And if you've enjoyed them, please subscribe to them. But I think the hardest part, Rob, is that you don't ever get to really practice retirement, right? You talk through it, you plan for it, but you don't really know what's going to happen when you leave, and you're leaving much more than a paycheck, aren't you?
You are, and you have to take care of yourself, and it can actually have a physical impact on you. I mean, Harvard research shows that retirees are 40% more likely to suffer a heart attack or a stroke in their first year after leaving work, not because of money stress, but because of a loss of purpose in their life. That's pretty significant.
Yeah.
If you think about it, for decades, you've been introduced as the CEO or whatever title you had, and you built this career of meaning to all of a sudden maybe be gone. And I find a lot of people that I talk with don't like to use the word retirement anymore. They like to use the word financial freedom. And they say, that just gives me peace of mind that I don't have to work because I have to pay bills. Now I'm working or creating something of significance because it really provides value to me. And that's the key of what we want to do, is make sure that your identity is not so closely tied to that business you're building or that company you work for, because at some point that party is going to end and there's going to be another part that we need to be able to go to and another part of your life to be able to build.
Yeah, it's going to go beyond the numbers, right? I mean, that's the whole purpose. So let's kind of reframe that conversation. How would you do that then if you look at retirement and you're not talking about the numbers?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is being curious. I love that word, curiosity, and thinking about it. And I think I've said this a few times on the show before. I had a client who would almost double his age and try to think about what would life be like at that point in time. And that's the type of curiosity I love to be able to hear from clients, because at that point, you're trying to envision what that is. And we all know that our dreams and visions don't always become a reality, but helps you to be able to prepare for it. So practice retirement. That's one thing you can be able to do. What energizes you? What keeps you going that's outside of the normal things that you're doing every day in your current job or business, that you can identify that's things you want to be able to further pursue once that financial freedom date or retirement date comes?
Are you ready to unlock the freedom to live your best life? Schedule your no-cost 60-minute discovery meeting with our team today. During this session, we'll take the time to understand your family story and financial dreams. Together, we'll craft a personalized roadmap designed to help you achieve your goals. Let's explore how we can unlock the freedom for you and your family to thrive. Just click the link in the description of today's show to get started.
And you got to go as well when you're talking about this. I know you talk about bringing financial voices together when you're having these conversations, when you're building a plan, when you're preparing for retirement. But do you need to also include the emotional ones as well?
Oh, absolutely. And, I love diving in on the emotional side with clients, because at the end of the day, it's so much more than just dollars. I don't want my relationship to be just based on rates of return and helping them understand betas and alphas and investment strategies. I mean, those are all things are all important. We do those really well. But where I really feel like what energizes me and keeps me going is to be able to see clients living that best life and that emotional connection that's out there. And so one, making sure you got the right professional that is focused on that. But the other is finding other ways to be able to do that, like joining a group or volunteering where you can be able to find your skills or are able to be at. I love where I'm currently at as chairman of the board for Make-A-Wish Utah, and working with our volunteers. A lot of them have built very successful careers and other things, and now are dedicating so much there because they can see the energy they get from volunteering in an organization like that. Another thing you can do is reconnect with people who challenge your thinking. And that's something that can be out there. There's so many problems in the world that could be able to use your talents to help solve those. And it's great to be able to connect with people that you could be able to help out. And last but not least, every night, write down 3 things that you're grateful for. This is one that I've really challenged my own kids to do. It's simple, but gratitude literally retrains your brain to look for what's right and not for what's missing. And not just for I'm going to call it us old folks, but man, if any generation needs that, it's probably our teenagers today, to make sure that they know that it's not that fear of missing out, and we all need that gratitude to be focused on that.
Yeah, I love that, and I think you're dead on accurate when you talk about, I think that's a big challenge for the youth today, and for younger people, is just seeing everybody else putting out their highlights, right, their highlight reel wherever you look, and you don't get to see the reality of the situation many times. It's very, very easy to wish you had more, wish you had something different, but being thankful for what you have is so important right now.
It is, and my kids love having me eat crow, where they throw back my own advice at me. And so, I think at times it's not just a younger generation issue, but we all have that social media that can be out there that can have that fear of missing out that kind of triggers, or my life could be better this way or that way. And having that focus on gratitude, 3 simple things to be grateful for, really retrains that brain to help you be in that right mindset.
Yeah, we just say younger people, but you're right. I mean, people probably approaching retirement like to compare and see how they're doing compared to others, and you're trying to keep up with others, right? And that might not be necessary for you, which is why you do this planning. So, I like this idea. And Rob, just to kind of maybe ease the mind as people that maybe say, okay, I really haven't thought that much beyond the numbers, right? I want to shift my mindset and rethink things and find that purpose. It's okay to be in that position when you come in to meet with you, right? That's kind of something you help guide them through.
Absolutely. And, something that came to mind as we're talking here is want to tell people you want to live your life, not someone else's. You don't want to be keeping up with anybody else or trying to do them. You want to live your life, and helping to describe what that is for you, what energizes you, what keeps you going, where you find satisfaction is so important. And if you can imagine waking up a year from now, your strategy is humming quietly in the background. You've spent time with those who matter the most to you, and your energy is really focused on giving back and what really gives you the most meaning. That's the type of life that most people want to have. And so just identifying those things are really critical. And that's really about creating a legacy beyond wealth, right? That's kind of what this whole podcast was built around, is helping people break out, not just getting to a number, but being able to understand, hey, this is about you and living your best life. And how can you be able to do that?
Yeah. So make sure you are prepared for that hidden side of retirement. Not everybody is, but again, that's why working with a team like Axio Wealth Management is so important. Can kind of help you prepare for that and help make sure you're living the best life in retirement. You put in all this work and time. You want to make sure you can truly put that wealth to use and live a very fulfilling retirement. So if you have questions for Rob, please reach out, axiowm.com. If you enjoy conversations like these, you want to learn more about this, please subscribe to the channel as well. We have videos every single week about these topics and these ideas. So Rob, thanks for taking us through this. I think it's important to reiterate just that meaning of life and why it's so important to what you do. So thanks for that.
Thanks, Ben.